Welcome to the Eyes on Ocean podcast. The podcast was created for marine mammals observers to share the incredible experience with whales and dolphins. My name is Claudia Erber, your host, and I invite you to embark and tune in to sea lovers' inspiring stories. Hello, everyone. We are in our episode number 15, and today we have a very special guest, a young marine biologist, a Portuguese woman who I met in a conference about the Tagus River. I'm super glad to have you here, Mariana. And please introduce yourself. Tell us, where are you? What are you doing now? Where are you from? Tell a little bit about yourself, please.
Okay, so hello, Claudia. Thank you so much for the invitation. My name is Mariana Carvalho. As Claudia said, I'm a young marine biologist. I'm 23 years old, and I was born in Lisbon, but I didn't live in Lisbon all my life. Actually, when I was about to start my journey in marine biology, I went to the south of Portugal, to Algarve, and that's where I studied. And then I finished my studies in the Arctic, in Tromsø, in Norway, on an Erasmus program. Yeah.
What experience, huh? First of all, studying Algarve, the paradise for marine mammals. And second of all, have this experience to go to Norway, in the north of Norway. Tell me a bit about this experience.
Oh, Norway was the experience. It was like I woke up every day. I just saw, I don't know, I had a look through my window. I saw the mountains. I was just like, wow, this is amazing. Like every day I had this way of living. Just look through the window. Oh yeah, wow, okay. I was doing adventures all the time. The education there as well is very good. They had a program where we could be on a ship it was 5 days, and it was like an investigation ship where we will stay there, and it was about benthos, phytoplankton, all the marine biology stuff. But it was very good that we could have the opportunity to be on a cruise ship in the middle of the fjords in Norway. So yeah, Norway was amazing for my education, for my living. I learned a lot there, and yeah, I could live in the Arctic for 6 months, where I could see the northern lights, some whales, of course, and just be on the snow every day.
And this cruise ship, it's the Havforskning Institute, or is from the Oslo University?
It's from the Tromsø University, where I was. They had, the universities there actually have cruise ships where they can go. And they had one. They do research on that, I don't know, it was... They do several trips on that cruise. And we did it to the fjords of Lofoten Highlands. And
wow.
we just stayed there 5 days, researching everything we could, taking some fish of the ocean, see what they had eaten, and what is the process of that. Well, all the marine biology stuff. I will not go through that.
Yeah, it's super interesting. I had experience with the Havforskning Institute, the Institute of Marine Biology from Norway, during an ecosystem survey. So that's why I was asking if it was something like that, because it's like a Norwegian and Russian scientists together, and they collect fishes, benthos, and then have us, the marine mammals observers. So it was an amazing experience to get to know so many scientists from different countries. Also to get to know the way they work, because we have time to go to the labs and make a lot of questions, as always I do. and also to travel all the Norwegian coast doing this kind of research. And during the cruise, the ones who want, they did like presentations about their research on board. So we have all the time this exchange of information. So I believe for me was one of the greatest experience as a researcher.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
learn a
just wondering, yeah, if you had this also, because since you said there's a lot of bio biomas you search, so it's something like you get this overview of the ocean. Not only, of course, we love the big animals, the fantastic cetaceans, but it's also very good to get the all overview of the ecosystem, I guess.
without the small ones, we wouldn't get the big ones, right? So it's very important, and I learned a lot. Being on a ship for 5 days is challenging as well. So I learned a lot about me too. But you just learn a lot, and you have to put your hands on the things. You have to do it for yourself. Then as well, we had to have a presentation about the work that we've done. So it was all very at the same time. We were not just doing that for just doing, we were actually doing research. So that means a lot in my fields, and at least for me, because I wouldn't just go there I'm just doing a cruise to the Lofoten Highlands and seeing the fjords. Yeah.
Oh, yes. And you said that you were there for 6 months. So it's like you pause the university, the graduation time, or it's like a follow-up? Is in the middle of the course? How it is?
It was my last semester, and it was with a program, the Erasmus program, that is including in my degree. So I could end my degree there in Norway. We just had to have the same, well, almost same courses, so we could have it could be fair for everyone. But yeah, the universities made like a deal, and we could go there and do the last 6 months of my bachelor's degree there. I wrote a thesis there as well, my bachelor thesis, which, yeah, another challenge. Yeah, it was about acoustics, specifically about the fin whales, what a physical factor could provoke changes on the whales' songs, So Norway was the biggest adventure of them all, and I would probably go again there as well.
And tell me, what are the physical effects that can change the whale song?
Yeah, in my specific case, I was studying the tidal currents. How could the tidal could affect the whale songs, the fin whale songs? But my friend's team, for example, was about the polar night. The polar night. Because in Norway you have a few months that they don't see the sun, right, in the Arctic. So how could that affect the whales as well? The whales singing. It is very interesting factors. They have a lot of data there in Norway. So I was just listening to 172 hours of whale songs. It was a lot, a lot of time listening to their songs, but it is beautiful. So I was just, okay, this is fun. So yeah,
Wow, super interesting. Super. Yes, as you said, to work with acoustic, you need to have passion and patience, because we go second by second. And then if you jump 1 second, maybe it's a big difference in what you will find out. So I am super in love for acoustic. Today I was doing the quality control of my analysis, the one I already have done, but I'm a bit, I need to see if it's really good. So I'm analyzing everything again, because it's like this. It's a data that nobody knows about, and you need to be very perfectionism, I think, have everything very clear what are you taking out from this data. So, wow, amazing you have done that in the beginning of career. Congratulations. And are you planning to do that in your master degree as well?
Yeah, exactly. I fell in love with acoustics as well. So my master's will be in Ireland, a master's of science, conservation, behavior. It is about conservation as well, but it has two courses. That is acoustic monitoring and another course of acoustics, just to learn how to use it and how to apply it to the whales or to the dolphins or who sings.
Super cool. And there they are studying a lot the Phocena harbor porpoise. Do you know what species you want to study, or you will see later?
Sperm whales have a good thing on acoustics. They're very special guys. I really like them. The humpback whales as well, the songs that they do. These two species I think are my top species for studying acoustics. I liked it as well to study the fin whale when I was in Norway, but I would like to study another species just to learn even more about all of them.
Wow, it's super nice. Also because these two species you just said that they emit totally different sounds from the fin whale and from each other. Cachalot is something and the humpback whale is something else. So wow, good luck for you. I am sure it will be a great experience. And also to live in Ireland is a special place. Have you been there?
I've never been there. They say it's a little bit more quiet than here, a little bit more gray as well, but they have whales and dolphins and sharks, so I think I'm good.
Yes, I've been there. I've been working there. It's beautiful. There are a lot of species and orcas, a lot of orcas also. Yeah, I am sure will be a great experience. And talking about your sea experience, tell us a little bit your work here in Portugal, already as a professional, as a cetologist, please.
So after Norway, I went to Portugal again. I went to Lisbon. I took my boat license, and then I said to myself, I really want to work in the water now. I don't want to study for now. Now I want to get experience. So now I work with Terra Incognita. It's a company that is in Alcântara, and we do trips, dolphin sightseeing, if you're lucky, whales. And it's a very, I really love the job. It was exactly what I wanted and what I needed as well. And it started with that. I was the marine biologist that accompanies the trips. They go with the skipper, and first I do the briefings and talk about what we're going to see, the cautions that we have to keep in mind to, keep our distance and all that. And then I explain everything I know about when we are in the boat with the animals. After a little bit, my company started to want to get some projects about environmental education. So I was the one chosen to be the one to go to the schools and talk to the kids. I love the kids, so I really like this project as well. We just go to schools and talk about what we see, or what in our trips to the ocean, then what is happening with the ocean, is everything okay, what's happening wrong, and then I explain it. They already know that the ocean is in danger, with Marine Leader and all that. So then we have several activities to do in about what we can do to protect the ocean. And yeah,
wow.
That's cool.
Super nice and super important. You have so much lucky to be able to work at sea, close home, let's say, né? Because you don't need to spend many days at sea, but you can go like almost every day, do the trips and get people involved in the marine mammals conservation, which is very, very important. It's not only look at them and be happy to be close to them, but also how to protect them, to transfer the information, I think is super important. And this beautiful work with the kids.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's so important to nowadays we have more and more ocean literacy at the schools, and mainly here in Lisbon when we have, how many species we have? Like 4 at least, is the
We have
Tursops, Delphinus, harbor porpoise, and sometimes the mink.
we have 4 species of dolphins here. Inside of the river, only 3. The arbor porpoise, the Delphinus delphins, the common dolphin, and the bottlenose dolphin. But then this summer we found more species outside. We found, well, minke whale sometimes comes and goes. Sei whale was found as well. Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know.
for a week and a half, something like that. We had a lot of fin whales coming here.
The fin whales, I had the chance to see it. Was amazing.
There was as well, they found the Cuvier big whale, which is really rare. Waters, yeah. And I think that's it. And then, well,
Have you
sharks.
seen them? The Cuvier's big whale?
I wasn't
Oh
lucky
my
enough.
gosh, this is a dream. Huh? So
It-
rare.
yeah, it was not the day that I was in the water. I don't know, the rare day that I was not in the water, they show up. So that's always like that. But it's fine. It's nature. We'll have the
Yeah,
time to.
it's part of the job. And when you are in these dolphin watching boats, are you using binocular or some kind of equipment, or just the eyes and try to train the people to get to see or find the animals?
We have binoculars, yes, if we need it. But actually, I use more my eyes because I think I trust more my eyes than the binoculars. I don't know how, this is just like me, but I think I prefer to see it with my eyes. I think it's just more large area like that I can.
Yeah.
So the binoculars will always be like a specific area, but I understand like for land, if you are seeing from land, binoculars, of course.
Or
We
big
have.
vessels.
Oh yeah, big
When
vessels.
we are working, yeah. Then I also, when I go out from Rio Tejo, I don't use binoculars. Also because of the movement of the boat, it's not so comfortable. But I was just wondering if you have some kind of methodology, or you just go out and try to find as much as you can.
Yeah, well, the technique is, this is a recent study, it's a recent news, the dolphins inside of the river and outside. It was only about 3 years old that we started to do these trips to go out to see the dolphins, so it's pretty recent. The data that we have is small, but we always marked our points where we see them. So we all try to find patterns, and imagine if we already have some spots that we know it's most highly, they show up there. Because the waters are deeper, colder, all of those things. But sometimes it's just, okay, luck, and let's go there and try to see something. Sometimes we don't have the luck. It's not, well, our rate is about 97%. So I think we're lucky we don't have anyone seeing for us. We're just discovering for ourselves. Of course, we have like 3 companies there, and we talk to each other to see if anyone see it and share the information. But yeah, it's this, just go and try to find.
Yeah, that's the way it is when they are not a resident in the same area. But as you said, if we have the waypoint from the previous sightseeing, so it's easier to find out where they are more or less, and this keep the communication among the other dolphin watching boats. We do that as well. So I think it's very important here, and I see a very good cooperation, and also I am very good surprised about how the dolphin watching companies work here in the Tagus rivers. I see that they all take care, they are all worried about the animals. They are not there just to make money. It's something that people are really take care of the animals and worried to give the best impression for the tourists. So I think this is very, very important, and I hope that continues like this because it's a kind of business that can make a lot of pressure or impact on the animals, but same time, as you already mentioned, it can produce a lot of good and important data about these animals that nobody knows really yet.
Exactly. In Lisbon, I think, as you said, we are still comparing to other places like Sado, the river that is underneath, yeah, and Algarve, for example. We have few lesser companies, so I think it's a little bit better than the other places. We don't have like 30 boats around the dolphins, as well as they say sometimes it happens in Algarve. But here, as you said, I hope as well that stays the same, because I think even, well, as you said, it's a business and more people try to do this business as well. Let's hope they are respectful enough for the animals and for us as well. But at the moment, I think it's very good. We're about 3-4 companies. And I think well, I think the limit would be good. If we have a limit of companies that could do these things, I think that would be good. But yeah, the same doesn't happen in Algarve or Sado or another place.
No, there in Algarve is super sad. It's one chapter of my thesis, my PhD thesis. I will write about that, this impact on the animals' communication for both species, the tursops and the common dolphin, because we see a lot, and sometimes I am recording the sound because I need to have the sound of the animals together with the boats, but then suddenly there are 12 boats around the group of the animals, and I just give up and I need the data, but I don't feel like I want to be there because it's something really, really stressful for the animals. But anyway, I am trying to get used because I need this data. But I see here it's totally different. And we are already doing some kind of studying from the tower, the land point, and we see some reaction behavior, but I never see until nowadays no one is staying with the animals more than 30 minutes because we control as well when the boat approach the animals and how long they stay with the animals, and I see all of them are very respectful. So I think this is the way to go, and I believe if another companies come, they will also follow up what these companies are already doing. It's like they will be the ones that will say, okay, you need to follow the example because it's important that the animals are here. And if we make a lot of pressure to see them in a bad way, we will lose them. Can happen the animals to leave the area because of the anthropogenic impact. So let's hope this never happened here. And talking about this, your work with the animals, what motivates you more? To be a marine mammal observer and scientist and educator?
This is a really good question. And I think I know the answer for this question since I am a little girl. Because all the time I don't know, sometimes my father or my mother asked me, like, what motivates you to do this? It was always about for making a change. So my motivation is that my work and studies contribute to a better world. And I want that pursuing my passion and this career makes a difference in this world. I will always want to make a difference. And the other parts, and that's why I'm in the part of the education, when I go to schools and all that, is to show to the kids and eventually my kids, my future kids, what we have in the ocean. And I don't want to show just like a book with draws of species that already are extinct. I want to show them in the wild. So I think this is what motivates me and why I want to continue doing this work. Yeah.
Now, that's beautiful. I'm sure you will make a good change in this world with your research.
Let's hope, yeah.
And if you think about your experience at sea, what would you say is more challenging for you as observer or at on board this dolphin watching boats or?
Yeah. Well, I think we have I think we have the challenge every day when we are out to find the dolphins, because every day we don't have spotters on land. So every day we need to find the dolphins by ourselves. So that's the first challenge that I always found in my day-to-day in the marine biologist life. The other challenge, I would say that are the days where we find the dead animals or see animals that are injured with a net or a plastic bag or, litter, and we can't do anything about it because we don't have the specific tools, or the animal doesn't approach us because it's its choice, right? We just can't do nothing about it. I think that's the most challenging part in my being, to control myself and not just jump into the water to try to save an animal, because sometimes we just can't do anything and we need to accept that. The animals don't come closer to us when they're injured, or they don't want, they fear us, or they don't want to. So I think that is the most challenging part in my job. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's super sad when you see an animal injured and you cannot do anything about. But happens often here in Lisbon, close to Lisbon. You see litters on the animals, or is just sometimes? Because in Algarve it just happened with me once. And I think I was crying for 1 week because we tried for 5 hours, help the animals. We got to the team, the expert team with the tools, and it was not possible to help the animal. And I have this feeling of, oh my God, this is what I see, but I can imagine what I cannot see. And then I was wondering if here in Lisbon there are a lot of animals with plastics.
Yeah, in this season we found about 4 dolphins that, which is, it was the highest number I think in these last years. Not all of them. We didn't know. I'm not sure as well, but one of them had like a mark of a net, so we could see it was the net that. We think it was the net that killed the animal. But like living animals with the nets, I found it twice. I think it was on the fluke of the animal. It was stuck on that. Didn't think it would bother too much at that time, but I think with the time will be more like a wound that maybe will not be reversible. But then we found as well a bird. This marine bird. Sometimes it happens as well. They have a lot of plastic stuff in their mouth or in their food, all that. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a lot if we think that we are not there every day. Are you there every day during the season? How it is your schedule?
In the summer, like July, August, September as well, we go out almost every day. August is every day.
Wow.
July, yeah. Sometimes you get tired, but then you are in the water with the animals and you don't care. So yeah, you go. But we go, almost last year it was more like every day. I think sometimes this year we had days that we wouldn't go. And yeah,
Wow,
in
but this is great, huh? You can go to see every day almost during the season and see a lot of animals. Is a wow, amazing job. I'm so happy for you.
um,
And if you do you have a story that you think is wow, this story I will tell to my grandsons when I get old. Do you have any special meeting with one of these animals or something that really makes that fills your heart?
yeah, well, the first thing that I think when you say exciting or tell my grandsons the experience, I think about my first time where I saw the whales, because well, I wasn't prepared for that moment. The adrenaline, the excitement that I have inside my body was just too much, and I couldn't handle it. But we were in Norway, yeah, it was in Tromsø, in Skervoy, and we booked a trip to see dolphins, whales. Well, it was whale watching trip of orcas, the killer whales, or the humpback whales, or both. We wouldn't know. And yeah, it was very cold, very cold. It was about minus 15 degrees.
Ui!
With that cold, it was just without the wind. Okay, with the wind was even more, and we were on a speedboat, so it was a lot of wind coming in, and it was cold. But then we got to the boat, and we just go straight to the fjord. We tried to see something. We couldn't see something for an hour, so I was trying to get desperate, and I was like, come on guys, I really want to see you. If you want to, just show up, please, please, I beg you. But if you don't, it's okay, nature, all that. But yeah, and then we saw a big fin coming out of the water, and well, if you know it's a big dorsal fin, you know it's a orca, a killer whale. So well, from that moment, I was just, it was very cold, but I was just so warm inside for seeing that animal. It was a lot of work because they were spreading out to the fjord, about 15 individuals. We stayed a little bit with them, but then we saw some blows in a little bit in front. So we just went to the blows, and there were like a family, a pod of humpback whales. There was, and they were just staying with us, communicating with each other in the surface. We were just, I don't know, they really liked the boat. They really liked to stay with us that time. So we were, I don't know, I was crying, of course, seeing the animals. And then, well, with the orca, we had an encounter when the orca passed underneath our boat. We was just quiet on that moment because it is a orca, bigger than the boat. It was a big male, okay. So we just shut up and, okay, what is this? But then with the humpback whales, they were just standing on our side, and it was just, then they dive, show up our tails. It was beautiful. And then in the end, there were about 3 or 4 individuals, and they were just at the same time showing the tails, diving up deep, and then we thought that was our goodbye, and we just, okay, that's the best moment ever.
Wow, what a beautiful experience. I thank you for sharing that. It's so we can see all the process, all the trip, you suffering with the cold, the orcas coming and the blows appearing in the horizon. Beautiful.
It was amazing. Well, I'm almost crying now for just thinking about the moment, you know? It was just beautiful. Like, couldn't get enough.
Wow, so beautiful this experience. I am sure that our audience is super enjoying as well. And talking about this amazing experience, do you have any favorite cetacean? And I know it's difficult to choose one species, but if you want, you can choose more than one. But I would like you share why you choose this specific animal that you will tell us is like your favorite.
Okay. I think this is like the forbidden answer. But it's okay. Well, I can't choose one, of course, but I have a special connection with humpback whales, the ones that I told you about, since it was the first whale that I saw in the wild.
Me too.
Yeah, okay, good. Then I have a special connection as well with the fin whale, the one that I study, and I have a very good encounter with one of them this summer. It was just a fin whale passing underneath our boat, and we're talking about the second biggest animal. So it was about 16 meters, and it was big, big, big. I didn't understand the size of this animal until I saw it for the first time. So fin whales are as well in my art. But then, well, you have the orcas, right? And
Wow.
when we see a killer whale for the first time, or when you study a little bit the orcas, you find that they are amazing. It amazes me every time since I discover something about the orcas. I think it's an animal that we can still quite fully understand, but it's such a smart one, such a good techniques. Well, the orca, of course, it's in my top place, of course. But then we have the dolphins, the ones that I work to. The common dolphins, they have a special place in my art as well. I cannot lie. And then I think it's all the species that I still couldn't see, but I'm really excited to see them one day, like the belugas or narvals or sperm whales. I couldn't see a sperm whale, and I really want to see one. Gray whales. I have a special species of dolphins that they are really strange since they don't have a dorsal fin. There are the northern right whale dolphins. These ones, they are, I don't know, for me, they're amazing. The first time I saw a photo of them and the video, I was like, what is this? I really want to see this. But I think, well, it's all the cetaceans. I want to see them all. And I just wait one day. That could be it's like one on my bucket list, seeing
Yeah.
cetacean species. Let's hope, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You are still a long way to stay at sea and see a lot of animals. And if you have this chance to work there in Ireland and in the Arctic, I am sure you will see a lot of animals. I have a very good experience in the south of Atlantic Ocean, and there I saw plenty species. But in my top list are the humpback whales, the orca, and the common dolphins as well. It's they are amazing. The humpback whales, they are so gentle the way they swim, and
Just
if you dive with them singing, is for me was the most exciting experience of my life.
I really want to do that, yeah.
Yes, I'm sure you will. I can imagine diving with a fin whale emitting sounds as well.
Yeah.
Probably the must, it probably is the same feeling because you feel the sound inside your body. You don't listen, you feel the sound. It's a really amazing experience. And the orcas, of course, because we know they are dolphins. They are just huge dolphins. And they are beautiful. When you see the dorsal fin and the surface, it's really amazing. I fall in love for orcas when I am at sea, for example, in the North Sea, and I am spotting a lot of orcas. Then they are my favorite for that season.
We change it in season. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like every day I just want to see orcas. But then, of course, if we see a huge group of dolphins, and also you can have the same excitement, feel like, oh my God, it's so beautiful. They are so delicate. It's another energy. That's the amazing thing about these animals. And that's why also I like to ask to everyone. And I think almost everyone say on the top list are the humpbacks. And then people will start, okay, but then have the orca, and then Laura, the last episode, she talk about the stenobredanensis. Oh,
Okay.
Alicia also talk about these Hoagland's dolphins. So it's nice to listen that people can get attached to different species for different reasons. So I love to know how people feel about these amazing animals.
Yeah, it's a good
And
question.
when are you at sea? Do you have music that you like to listen, or if you are at home, you listen a kind of music that brings you to the sea?
Actually, when I'm in the sea, I never listen to music because I really I think it's my favorite sounds in the world. It's just to listen to the waves and the sea, the ocean, all that. So when we are out there, even if we are on a speedboat and we just stop the boat, stop the engine, and we're just, sometimes I like to show that to the clients, to the tourists, they go there, just now try to listen, and we're just in absolute silence. It's like, for me, it's the most amazing sound, and I don't think I could replace that sound with a song, with the music. So I don't do that. But even if like I'm on a sailboat with my friends, just sailing or around the river, I don't do that as well. I prefer to listen to the sounds of the waves and the ocean. But yeah, then music. When I'm at home, I think I have such hours in my brain of listening to whale songs that I think that remembers me the ocean and being out there. So I would say that my answer, the music, would be the whale songs for sure.
Oh, that's beautiful. But I totally agree. I think the music that we listen at sea, it's more like when I work, for example, for many weeks on
Oh yeah.
board the big vessels, and then it's a kind of distraction because I see when I am working in the tower for these land sightings here in the Lisbon, or when I am in the speedboats with AM doing the research. We never listen music, but I also need the sound of the ocean. It's something like if I stay 1 week without to listen the waves, there's something wrong with me. I just need to take my bike and get to the beach
Yeah.
as soon as possible, just to get. It's kind of therapy, the wave sound.
Sure. Going to the ocean is absolute therapy for me.
And it's addiction because yes, you need to have that in your life. It's I cannot stay more than 2 weeks without to see the sea or without to listen the waves. And even now in the winter here, I just go to the beach and sit and just stay looking at the ocean. It's so important to me.
I think we are the same on that topic. Yeah.
And if you would explain what the sea, the ocean represents for you, is there a word or something that can you explain?
Well, the first that pops up in my mind, I think the ocean, is everything for me. I think that is, I don't know, I can't explain it. It represents everything for me. It represents my home, my second home, or my first home sometimes. It represents my safe place, where I want to be, where I like to be, where sometimes I really need to be, you know? And yeah, with that represents everything. I don't think I can find another word to that.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's how I feel as well. It's like what I want to, it's where I want to stay every day in my life, close to the sea, listen to the wave sound, looking at the animals, dive, do, and also do the scuba diving and see the animals and this feeling when you are on the water. The breathe, your rhythm when you swim. For me, it's also everything. I super agree with that.
It's everything, yeah. I don't think I ever could replace the ocean for something else in my life. So yeah, it's everything.
That's beautiful. So, Mariana, thank you so much. Have been a great time to talk with you. So inspiring that you, so young, and so much stories to tell. And I would like to ask you if you have a tip, advice, or a comment for our audience. Something you think is important to say before we finish.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they want to hear me because I'm very young, but my tip for if you want to study marine biology or if you want to be a marine biologist, I think you should, if you like it, if you have the passion, just do it. Do it with fierce, do it every day, try to get more knowledge every day. And if you really like it, you will do it and it will be the best thing you could ever do. Just remember that, I don't know, if you like the things that we do, it will be good. It will be great, right? So I think that's my advice. Just do the things you love and it'll be fine. Go with the flow, yeah.
Yes, thank you for that. It's super important we do what we love, because then we do with all our heart, with our soul, and I believe that the universe help us when we are doing something that is not for money. It's to make the change, as you said in the beginning of our conversation, that you are trying to give your thing to the world, to make your wave. So I think it's very important and very beautiful. Thank you so much for your time.
This was very pretty. I would say that this interview was very pretty, full of love about the ocean, and I really like to talk about it, so I hope everyone liked it as well. And thank you so much, Claudia, for the invitation again.
I am sure everyone will love it. Thank you. Bye bye. Thank you for navigating this far with us. Keep your eyes on ocean and ears open. Every 24, there is a new episode online.